Hello, niche website builders.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
What's
coming, you, Adam?
Thank you. Last stream of the week before I go on holiday next week, so I'm slowly but surely getting more and more wound up as the week goes on.
Wound up or wound down?
Wound up for holiday.
Right.
Starting to feel excited and bouncing around the house.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna be lonely next week. We're sorting out some different stuff for the stream next week. So yet to be revealed. But yeah, without Adam, hopefully with some other people to kind of join and help us out. So welcome to everybody. We've got today, we've got Brian, we've got Daniel, we've got Doms. I'm going to say Doms because I always mess that up. Doms. We've got Garris, we've got Birdie, we've got Stuart, we've got Scott and Robin and Adrian and Sam. So lots of the familiar names. As I've mentioned in the chat, we've had a few people drop out. We had 4 people, I think, ready to go for today, and only Alison's turned up. Thank God Alison turned up. But Alison's turned up, but I've just dropped the link in the chat there. So if anyone else fancies just dropping on, it's going to be an informal chat about what you're up to. Tell us where you are in your journey, that kind of thing. So if you fancy jumping on, just click on the link and it should go straight in. You won't be directly on the screen straight away. We'll have to invite you in, but we'll see you there. So if you're up for joining, then feel free to click the link. So today's show is Tales from the Community. So it's Tales from Alison, as it is like so far. So Alison, she's about a year into her niche website building journey. She recently became a customer actually of Niche Website Builders. So it'd be really good to. She's really right at the start of her journey. So it'd be really interesting to kind of drill down into kind of what she's doing and what her plans are for going forward. So we'll pick that up shortly. If you're new around here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Try and get these streams as busy as we can. More, and hopefully reach more people. It just makes it kind of more fun. So feel free to like and subscribe. If we get enough likes and subscribes throughout the show, if we hit 35, then we'll do a merch giveaway at the end for a mug or a t-shirt or we'll have to give Alison one. Like if Alison hasn't already won one, then she's going to have to get some merch for being the only person that kind of showed up on the show. So we'll ask her in a minute. I don't think she's won yet, but we'll have to check. So Building Empires event, just a reminder, 7th to 9th of June, so only a month away now. Free to register, building.empires.live. We've got loads of great speakers over the 3-day event, all about website investing and building niche sites. So as I say, free to register, head over there and get signed up. So tell us, so how, other than going on holiday, what's up?
Nothing. That's my life at the moment.
I feel like doing that 3 streams a week as well. We kind of like reveal all what we've been up to on the Tuesday, and we kind of do it a bit again on the Wednesday. By Thursday, we've got much to talk about. But.
I mean, my life has been very exciting the last 2 days. I've been head down in spreadsheets, which sounds boring to most people, but I actually love it. So yeah, I've been digging into loads of spreadsheet stuff for the business this week, and it's really sad. It sounds really sad. It's really satisfying when you finish a spreadsheet and you can go, look at this. Yeah. That's been my 2 weeks since 2 days since our last stream, basically.
Yeah, we already know of your love of Excel and Google Sheets. It's a common theme. No surprise you've had your head down in spreadsheets for 2 days. I guess one thing I should mention is that we have a promotion going at the moment. Well, I say a promotion. It's your last chance to get grandfathered in on our Shotgun Skyscraper link building service. We're putting the prices up. Cost of link building is just going up. So we're having to increase our prices, unfortunately. But if you're quick, if you get in by the end of the week, I can't remember if it's Sunday or Friday. But if you get onto that, then you can get grandfathered into the existing pricing. The pricing is going up by $100 for our basic package, $200 for our middle package, and $300 for our top tier package. So if you want to get grandfathered in on that, now's the time before it's too late. Cool. So should we bring Alison in then?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Alison.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
It's still super quiet, so we'll get everyone to turn up their volume. So.
Is that better?
we can hear you. We can hear you. I think it's fine, but it is super quiet for some reason. But it's cool. We'll work with that. So yeah, I guess it'd be really good to kind of hear like initially from you, Alison. Like, how did you find out about website investing or content publishing? When was the first? When did you first hear about it, and what got you interested?
I had an idea about it anyway, but to just put things straight first, I am rubbish technically. So I used to think I was really good until my young son started growing up and then showed me that I didn't know anything at all. So it had always put me off because to anything. And then I just started forums because I need to find something. Basically, I got sick 7 years ago, and because of that, I could no longer work a normal job, so to speak. So I had to try and find something I could do that I could do alongside me being sick. So this is like a perfect opportunity because if writing isn't, I can do it in bed if I have to, basically. So this is where I came up with doing this. So I have a website already, an e-commerce one from my part-time business that I do. So I just thought, well, I'll try a blog. And I just started looking at, well, I think I probably looked at too many people at first. And then I just sort of threw out the ones I didn't like, threw out the ones that I found quite annoying. And then I was left with like about 3 or 4 that I now listen to what they're saying. So, but it's 9 months now since I started.
Yeah. So when did that you sort of, I think we always talk about like the light bulb moment. Or like when did you kind of realize that this was a thing that was real?
It was when I was having a look for trying to pick what sort of niche to go for, and I could see that a lot of the content wasn't. It was very like robotic. I know there's all this stuff about AI at the moment, but a lot of it isn't AI. It's just when I'm trying to do a blog post, I try to do it like as a person. So I'll put stuff in it that, okay, people that aren't in Britain might not get, but I try and make it conversational. And I thought that, I like it. I enjoy doing that. So I'm just going to have a go. And then in the summer, I started listening to your podcasts. And we went away to the Lake District and we had to stay in for 48 hours because my nephew had tested positive for COVID and we were waiting for the pop test. And I spent a whole day.
Oh, wow.
Listening
to me and Adam.
Yeah. And then I decided I needed a break. So I stopped the podcast and I started looking at shoes and I ended up getting a dog. So my annoying puppy Dave, who's running rampant around the house, it's your fault that I've got this puppy called Dave.
We've got a puppy?
I've got a puppy called Dave.
How did that come from us?
Because we were stuck in the house and I was listening to your podcast and I must have been 7 hours and I thought, well, I've got to take a break. I'm going to look for some shoes online. Started looking at shoes and somehow ended up with a dog.
So it was okay. You ended up with a dog because you really needed a break from me and Adam, basically, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So did you call the dog Adam?
Dave.
Kind of Dave. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so so you got so you listened to the podcast. You got got interested.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about like how you first got set up then. So you said you got no technical skills with the website or anything, but so what did you do there?
I took a course, online course, which sort of walked me through it, and also I have a cousin who's got a website agency, so he's hosting it for me because I got stuck at the first hurdle because I didn't know how to set up the hosting or anything. So he did that for me, and then I've just been going through courses, Googling everything, putting everything on YouTube, for bits I'm stuck on. Because basically the first 6 months of this, I've winged it by just having to Google everything, things like if plugins that people say you should get, and I don't know what they mean. So having a look at that and best ways to write content. And on the days that I'm too sick to actually write anything, I listen to podcasts or listen to tutorials. So I'm still trying to educate myself as much as possible.
Yeah. You kind of end up going like deep down the rabbit hole, don't you? And with this kind of thing. But and come out the other side. But yeah, cool. That's really cool. So you got the site set up. But yeah, I guess before that you kind of decided on a niche, right? So how did you kind of think about where you're going to go with that?
I wanted to go with something where I could learn at the same time, because I thought that I'm going to have lots of questions as a newcomer at my niche. So it's in the pet niche, so not dogs though. It's nothing to do with Dave. So we've got ourselves a different pet, and we have, I've been learning along the way for the pet and the blog, which has been, it's been good, because I have the sort of questions that, they seem to be quite underserved, because they're all forum answers, which I've now, the first 6 or 7 months, keyword research just went straight over I couldn't get it into my head. And I was like, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know. How do these people know? Is it like a code that gets put in the back of your head after a certain couple of months? So it finally dawned on me. And now I'm a bit obsessed with keyword research.
Yeah, that happens as well. Once you get down the rabbit hole of the keyword research as well, yeah. You find something else, and then you find something else, and you find something else.
Disappear for hours, and you're like a million miles away from where you started off, but it's still on the same. It may have battered by the end of it.
Yeah. Cool. So we've had a few comments. So Tim's around you. You said you don't know too many people in the UK doing it. So there's Tim. What else have we got? So Leanne. Alice is my kind of person. I mean, yeah, we were to blame for a dog. I like that. And then we got Bill. Bill's more of a newbie than you. Bill's 8 months behind you. So
but it's that sort of time where you listen to a lot of podcasts and see a lot of videos of people that are a lot further along than we are, and there's like probably a massive amount of people where I am thinking, well, it's like being in a party and they want to talk to you, like, well, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, and you can't. There's no one to ask, because everyone's like, it's like a big secret society, what the niche is, and you can't tell anyone, and you can't ask, and I get a bit nervous in case I get told off for asking the wrong question.
Yeah, that definitely can be challenging. I remember that myself. Like, you just kind of want someone to show you, kind of just to make sure you're on the right track.
Yeah.
But everyone's obviously really protective, because they don't want people like imitating and copying the niche and increasing competition and all that kind of stuff. So it's difficult. But yeah, you do find a few people that kind of have done open public case studies, which kind of helps, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're coming from kind of not having any background in. It doesn't sound like you had any background in SEO or online marketing or anything like that. And to go into it's even, because I did, and I had those kind of questions, and it's even worse for you, probably coming from completely from zero.
Yeah, I'm quite creative, like man-make things. So computer stuff, it's just I don't understand. I have to shout my videos all the time to fix what I've broken online.
Yeah.
So is the site targeted towards the UK or the US, Alison? Because you mentioned something there a second ago which made me think.
I'm targeting both, obviously British spellings and all that, but there are parts of my niche where things are slightly different in the US. So I do both in the same. I usually put something like for purposes of international peacekeeping, here's this version and that version. So, but I think when I look at my traffic, it's more US. US is the biggest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just a big market. But you're writing in British English, did you say, right?
Yes.
It's interesting that British English, but the majority of the audience are US then.
I couldn't bring myself to. I'm so used to doing. I'm like the grammar police anyway. I just can't put a Z in instead of an S. So I can't do it.
I've gone the opposite way now. So when I'm writing text messages to friends and stuff, I struggle to use an S rather than a Z, because I've used it so much.
Yeah.
Do you think I should be doing American? Like,
I think it's more towards the keyword research. So there's definite nuances and differences when you do your keyword research, targeting one market than the other. They just search differently usually. So
I think Google might know if it's only one letter difference.
Because
I'm ranking for stuff that has got in America that's got English spelling. So
yeah, I think they know the difference. Like, they're clever enough to understand like what the word means with that letter difference. But what I mean is, the US audience sometimes will search for, especially if it's a long tail keyword you're going for, typically will search for it in a different way than us Brits. Just the way sentences are put together sometimes. So just, I guess, just be a little bit mindful sometimes if you're doing your research, if you're using tools to do it and you're relying on like the third-party data, whether that's search volume or keyword difficulty or anything. There's going to be differences if you put the same keyword into and select UK, or you put the same keyword in and select US. It's going to give out different data.
I did spend the first 6 months of this hating Google, because I think it's partly because I didn't understand the keyword research. But I was like, I used to say to my friends, "Who's made Google the boss of everything? Why is it all Google?" Who made them the boss of the world?
Yeah.
Mad.
Hi, it's Dave.
No, that's me. But Dave, come here.
I mean, I would worry. I mean, I would probably go US English for the content as well. Like, if you genuinely don't want to target just the UK, because I would worry that Google would start looking at your content and start thinking, yeah, this is UK targeted, and therefore not ranking you so well in the US.
Is the domain a .com or a top level? It's not .co.uk, right?
.com.
Okay.
I've got both, and one's the .co.uk is directed to the .com.
Yeah.
Cool. Makes sense.
Because I thought that might be a good thing to do. I just thought, well, I'll get both. So here's Dave, which was all your fault. If someone can send me an address for where to send him,
yeah, drop him off at the affiliate gathering. You know,
He's super good.
So oh, that was. I'll do Leanne in a sec. Sam, she said there's not many people to talk to, I guess, as well. So it's good to hear other people talking about it and things too.
I literally talk to the dogs about it because the only people, and even there, like, shut up now, woman. I don't know anything about Google.
Oh, we've lost Alison shortly, I think. Hopefully she'll be back.
Dave's chewed the internet wire, obviously.
Oh no, yeah, Dave
chewed the router now.
That's Dave's fault. We'll come back to. Hopefully, Alison will join us back in a minute.
Yeah. In the meantime, if anybody else,
here you go.
Yeah, I don't know what. It's probably Dave bitten something.
That's what I said. Dave's chewing the router.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good point, Adam. So yeah, if anybody else wants to join in with this on the stream, there's the link in the comments. So feel free to click the link and join if you'd like to. Also, feel free to ask questions for us or for Alison as we go, and we'll pick them up as we go, as we have been. So Leanne says, what's been your biggest learning curve?
How do you copy the link, by the way? I can't copy that link to paste it again, because I don't know if people who have joined can scroll back to the previous comments. I'm not sure.
There you go. I'll put it in now.
Cool.
There you go. Alison said, Leanne said, what has been your biggest learning curve on this journey?
It's got to be the keyword research. It's just, like I said before, it took me months and months, and I just it wouldn't sink in. But it's data. Oh, sorry, now my child's appeared.
It's all right.
The keyword research was probably the most difficult because I was going to it from the wrong angle. I've also got a child for sale as well. 13-year-old. I don't know where he's gone now. And also not listening to everybody. Finding someone who you understand what they're explaining about, and just listening to that. I was listening to everyone, and I was getting all sorts of different things being told to me, and it was just confusing me. And everything. So those probably be the two biggest.
There's also people I find it mainly on LinkedIn more than anywhere that they try and overcomplicate things to make it sound complicated, to make themselves sound smarter. The amount of time posts I've seen of people on LinkedIn talking about keyword research or content, and they've used different acronyms and different words, and they're talking about silos and content hubs and entities and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense, really. You're just using lots of fancy terms to make it sound like you're doing something complicated. And I think there's lots of people in the space that do that rather than just lay it out in plain English that most of us would understand.
That's why I never go near LinkedIn.
I don't blame you.
To keep away from things like that. I just try and stay in my own lane and then hope that I'm doing things right, because I class myself as being fairly sensible. So you know, I know if something's not going to be good enough to post, and you know, I now know when I'm looking for the wrong keywords and stuff. So and what is classed as undeserved. Although for months I was reading that as undeserved, as in you don't deserve to be a keyword, and I was like, that's a bit harsh. And then I realised it's underserved. You know, the forum answers and everything.
Ah.
Yeah, didn't
So-
understand that. Just little things like this that I need to learn.
Yeah. How do you approach keyword research? Like, what's the? I mean, if you want it, you don't have to go into the details of it, but if you wanted to, then what's your?
I like questions more than anything. Because
Yeah.
as a user myself of Google, 99% is questions when I'm on Google. So I like questions, and I found keyword chef. That's my new favourite thing in the world. Because I'm getting a lot of really good topics, and then as you know, then you go down the rabbit hole on subtopics of the topic, and then you go so far down, you then forgotten what the original topic is, so you've got to climb back out again to see what you started off at. So I've managed to I've probably got about 300 articles that I can write from.
Yeah, awesome.
Have you tried out the new weak domain report that Ben's just released?
No, I've not seen that yet.
No. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos about it. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I just think it's really good that you get the forum answers, and which is obviously what I'm trying to aim for, to get higher or on the same page as the forums, which is what we're all trying to do. But...
Yeah. I haven't looked at that yet. I'd actually need to take a look at that. But Dave's getting a lot of love on the stream, so he's going down well.
He's welcome. He's,
So, you got a lot of takers.
He looks like Cruella de Vil after a night out. He always looks homeless. No matter how much you pay to get him groomed, he never looks tidy.
Awesome. So, okay. So you've got so in terms of writing the articles, then you've done the keyword research. In terms of writing the articles, is that something you started doing yourself? Did you?
Yeah. Yep. I've done the majority of I've got 61 posts up now.
Okay. Awesome.
I wanted more, but I couldn't because of not being well. So in my head, I wanted to do 10 a week, but in reality, it was only about two or three. Yeah. And then I sort of hit a dip around October where nothing was moving, and I was like, oh. And then I just left it for a month and then started again. And now I can see things moving, so I'm like wanting to do as much as I can. But I struggle with starting a post. So once I've started you should start a business where you just do the first 2 sentences of blog post. That's what I need, someone to do the first 2 sentences, and then it gets over.
I quite like that, actually. That's quite good. Do the first paragraph, and then there you go. Starter articles.
So I actually start typing nothing. I'll just type loads of letters and then go straight into it. And then I have to remember to delete the gobbledygook at the beginning of the post to take it out.
You just type random keys.
Yeah, I pretend I'm dead good at typing and type dead fast like that, and then start the post.
Just get your fingers warmed up. Awesome. So, okay, you got about 61 posts over the kind of period that you've done. So you said you started seeing some impressions, I suppose, in Google. And
I do like monthly figures, so it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But for example, I do organic traffic. Is that a good one?
Mm-hmm.
So organic traffic for this year. So January was 129, February 181, March 275, and then April it's gone up to 442.
Nice. And is that in Google Analytics you're looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, you definitely see it's starting to gain some traction. So it's a brand new domain, I assume, was it, that you started on?
But this is why some of the stories you see online, they are really so inspirational. But you think when people say that they've been going for a year and they've got 20,000 views, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I know they're like in the minority, which is why I'm glad you let me come on today to talk, because I'm pretty sure there's so many people like me thinking it can't be that easy to do it, because you don't sort of stories, do you? It's always the really, really good ones where they're getting loads of content and loads of views, or the ones where they've gone wrong.
Not on a fresh domain. Like it's going to take. I mean, because what did you say? You're about a year in now to the project. Did you say?
9 months.
Yeah, and it's typical. Like seeing what you're seeing now is that to actually
Sorry.
get some traffic. You're looking to at least 6 to 12 months, really, to actually start seeing any kind of return.
Yeah.
For the effort that you're putting in.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that you're starting to see it kind of ramping up now, and it'll only keep going up. So you'll get the benefit of all those old posts, and they'll start to age and start to keep moving up. And that's why you just got to keep them going, keep them coming, because they'll take a while to rank as well. But they won't take as long as the first ones. It won't take a year every time, but they'll still take a little while. So.
Post that I put up on Saturday, and according to Ahrefs, that they're ranking in America now after a couple of days. So they're not. I think they're like 20 something. But,
yeah.
And I'm sure it'll go down before it comes up again. But it's nice that they're getting noticed.
Yeah. So you should find. Yeah. So once you're out of the sandbox, you will find that which is that kind of period of loneliness in the first 6 to 12 months of a domain's existence. That after that you will find that it kind of stuff ranks much more quickly, and it get better and better as the site becomes bigger and more popular. That indexing process just gets better and better each time as time goes on, and as the site gets better and more successful.
Actually, about indexing, if that's okay. I see and hear all the time people saying that it takes a long time for Google to index a post, but I don't know if I'm doing the wrong thing. I just manually do actually posts. Am I doing this wrong?
What do you do? Sorry.
I just go to, once I've published a post, I go to Search Console and request indexing.
Yeah, so that doesn't always work, but that's a totally fine way of doing it. And like Adam always used to do that, didn't you? Until quite recently. I never do anything. I just publish and let Google figure it out. But I think the reason you're seeing it a lot is because some people on some sites are specifically having index issues where a large percentage of their posts or a decent percentage of the posts just aren't getting indexed after months. And there's no kind of clear reason for why that is. I think it doesn't happen to everybody. Like most of the time you should be just fine, just pressing publish and Google will come along and figure it out. There's no harm in putting it in Search Console either. It's not going to do it's not going to cause any issues. It's absolutely fine to go ahead and do that. But people are finding that they're doing that and it's not indexed. It's still not indexing, even though they're requesting it in Search Console. But that's why you're seeing a lot about it, because over the last 12 months or so, Google came out at one point and said they were having issues with indexing. I don't know what the root cause of this is actually, but Adam, I don't know if they've ever actually said. I don't know if it's just the sheer volume of every day new sites hit the web.
Indexing all the time. I'm slowing
yeah.
I think it is. I think they said more recently as well, didn't they, that they were having trouble recrawling just the sites they already have in their index, never mind even adding new sites. So I think it's just the sheer volume. But they're also on a different protocol to things like, I think Bing is on a different protocol. So there's talk that they're going to move over to the index now, I think, or index first. I can't remember which one it was. That kind of protocol, which should, I don't know what, I don't understand it enough, but they're on a different kind of way of indexing currently. And they're going to move over to this different way, which is supposed to make it all better. But as one of the other reasons why we like using age domains as well is, and it's not always the case, you still sometimes have indexing issues with age domains, but more often with an age domain, it already has history with Google. So it's not like it's a fresh domain. You've got typically more what we call crawl budget. Google will come to the site more often. It's easier to get content indexed typically at the moment on an age domain rather than a fresh domain until Google sort their stuff out and goes back to the way it used to be, which was no issues at all. I remember a time when there's no indexing issues.
Yeah. So you're not alone with the gobble. I haven't heard of this gobble technique till now, but it seems quite prevalent. So Carly,
the gobble
also. Just start typing. Yeah, I mean it's gaining grounds. I think you should trademark this or patent it before.
No, I'm going to start a business, and what I'm going to do is I'll give you 2 paragraphs of gobbledygook, and then you carry on with the blog post from there. I won't even give you anything to do with the post.
Oh, Dave. Dave's excited. Dave was excited about the gobble concept. So okay, like Leanne has just joined us, so we'll bring her on in a second. Leanne is actually a member of the Niche Website Builders team, but we encourage all of the people at Niche Website Builders to start their own sites, of which many have actually, and they're all on different. Many of them are just starting out. They're at different points in their journey, so we can talk to Leanne about what she's been getting up to. She's having some good success so far. But before she came on, she asked you a question: are you monetized yet?
I've got a little bit of Amazon, but only like maybe less than 5% of the site because I prefer the informational content. I was waiting until I got to 1,000 page views to go to the Zoic, and I've obviously got to learn what to do first because I don't know how to monetize the site. So on page views, I'm up to 613. So I'm hoping in a couple of months I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, hit 4 figures first, get to 1,000 a month, and then go from there. Honestly, you've done the hard bit. Like that's the hardest bit, is getting started and getting to the first bit of traffic. Now it gets easier from now. So well done for where you are, like on your journey. Like not a lot of people don't get where stick at it for a year. So
I can see why, to be honest, because it is. I feel like we should all have a special handshake so we can walk around the streets and find someone else in that position. We don't know anyone else who's in the same position, but there's got to be loads at the same stage as me, because it's quite a long like time frame, isn't it, from when you start to when you actually make some decent money.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's worth it in the long run, but yeah, it's a slog. There's no doubt about it at the beginning, but the rewards can be great in the long term. So excellent. What I'll do, Alison, is I will shift you off screen and I'll bring Leanne on, and then towards the end we'll bring you both back on together, and we'll take any kind of last questions that we have from everybody before we do the merch giveaway. Hopefully, we're up to 28 likes already, so we're only 7 away from the merch giveaway number. So we'll catch you in a little while, Alison, if that's all right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Alison.
Hello, Leanne.
Hello. This is all very strange.
It is. It seems a bit official now.
I know.
So Leanne's. If you've worked with Niche Website Builders at all, you probably had some sort of interaction with Leanne. Leanne used to head up our link building team. She now heads up our customer success team. So generally, if you have Sophie who works with you as well, so you people may not have spoke to you. If they've joined more recently, they might have spoke to Sophie, but otherwise, yes, Leanne's heads up the customer success team. But you have been building your own site, haven't you? And you started it. Did you start it before Niche Website Builders or since joining Niche Website Builders?
I did start it before. I've had sites in the past, but it was more with the idea of, first of all, I had like a site that was going to be to kind of promote my freelance writing, because I was a writer before anything else. But that kind of, I used it as a creative outlet, but never really went anywhere in particular with that. But then I launched a website in the spiritual space because, fun fact, I'm a tarot reader on the side. And the whole game plan was I was going to have this, this big brand where I was going to be able to sell things online. And I was going to, offer my tarot reading services and whatever. But I didn't really, do a great deal with it. It just felt like a lot of work to get it off the ground. And it's such a nuisance trying to set up e-commerce as well. And I've worked in SEO for like 12 years, and I never knew that this was a thing until the job opportunity came up with you guys. And it just opened my eyes to what is available. And, the skills that I've obviously built up over a really long time. I could have been annoyingly applying for such a long time to making money for myself, which is infuriating. But then I pivoted. So the site that I built, I thought, well, why don't I try and make this into a site that's actually going to be something that will make me money? So that's kind of where I started, and it's very addictive.
Yeah, it is addictive. Once you start seeing the traffic going up and looking at the graphs, you keep sending me the odd graph here and there. And
I know. I love the graphs.
Graph excitement. But yeah, so what is it, like a year ago you started, you pivoted, or less than that?
Yeah, no, probably is. I was trying to think of this the other day. I think it probably is coming up to about a year where I pivoted. And in the beginning, I don't think I'd kind of transitioned enough from the traditional way that I would have done keyword research in the past to the kind of thing that we need to do for these sorts of sites. So I sort of took a scattergun approach, if I'm honest, and I was just writing what I fancied writing. I did keyword research behind it, but there wasn't enough strategy. So I think it probably took me longer to get off the ground than it should have. And I think a lot of my success that I've had comes from this one particular post, which was just something completely random that I wrote. So I've been quite lucky that one has really taken off. But this year especially, I've kind of drilled down a lot more into the strategy and the keyword research and really trying to focus on what's going to get me results in the shorter term rather than having to wait.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I guess how long did you have the site? How long have you had the domain and been indexed in?
I think I've probably had the domain about 2.5 years. It's probably been live about 2 years or so, I suppose. So I didn't have to worry about the sandbox.
Yeah, so that's great. That's an advantage you had over Alison, that even though you weren't using it as a blog, essentially, you had it indexed by Google, and you didn't have to sit out and wait that period of time. That's really going to have helped, like with any new stuff that you create now. So you've been writing your own blogs?
Yeah, for the most part, I was writing for myself. I have started outsourcing now, and I've got it's so hard to find a good writer though. I've been through a few people on Fiverr. My own fault, trying to go as cheap as I possibly can. But I've been through quite a few writers, but now I've found one or two people I can rely on, because I'm really trying to ramp up and actually get this site monetized. So I'm trying to produce about 10,000 words a month on this main site now. So I need a bit of help to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So so tell us a little bit about how many posts you've got, like what's the kind of traffic numbers you've been getting, and how's it been growing over time, like what you're seeing?
So I just hit 60 posts this week, so I'm just on a level with Alison now, and the traffic is growing month on month now. The kind of graph keeps doing this, which is awesome to watch. I think I hit nearly 3,000 views in in April. So I've nearly 3,000 views in April, and it just seems to be on a constant upward trajectory, which is really good, which is fueling me on to want to write more posts then and pump more content into the site to get that kind of end result.
Yeah. So Alison's kind of seeing the future a little bit in that.
Not too far. I haven't got that far.
Not too far, but I mean, you've got a similar number of posts, right? It's just that you've been indexed longer and had that kind of that bit of time. So awesome. So
is the plan to still monetize it with like selling your own tarot readings and stuff like that? Or
the tarot readings, yes, not the products. But it's such a faff. I'm fed up of people saying this is missing, because I sell stuff. I've sold products on eBay, and I was going to migrate it all over to my own website. But it's such a hassle. Like, this has gone missing, this has arrived broken. I can't be bothered with it. I'd much rather just have an informational site that is going to make me money through display ads. So that's the goal, really. But I will always, if people land on the site and they want to book a reading or whatever, awesome. But that's never going to fill up the bank.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, you mentioned you've been in SEO for a while, and when you were with Niche Website Builders, you're kind of working with link building. So, have you built any links? Like, what sort of authority has the site got? Like at the moment,
it's a DR8, I think. So I did build some links in the early days, just to try and boost things. So that's probably, although I was out of the Google sandbox, I think that would have helped anyway, that I did a bit of concerted link building in the beginning. I've stopped building links completely at the moment. I'm just, focusing any spare cash into building out the content, really, and honing in on that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we just picked you up another customer.
Oh, yeah? You have to reach out, Carly.
Yeah, go to the Niche Website Builders website. Leanne will be picking it up anyway. So
yeah, it'll be me anyway.
So head over to the chat, drop a message in for Leanne, and let's pick that up. Awesome. So okay, so we've gone through.
What's the long-term plan? And this is your kind of first site. Are you going to do more sites? Continue working on this one specifically?
So the problem I have is I do get attracted by like the new shiny thing. So I have many domains now and plans for what I could do with them. I do have another 2 live sites. One is in the gardening space and one is in the pet space. And my plan now is to I think what I'm going to do, because they're both quite new, that the cat site is not quite as new as the gardening site, but still fairly new. But I think what I'm going to do with those is build them up to about 25 posts, and then if I can bear to do it, just leave them for a while and see how they fare. But ultimately, yeah, I want to have a nice sized portfolio. I'd like to retire early. I don't want to retire when I'm like in my 60s or anything. So, and we need stuff sorted around the house. I need these sites to start making money so we can get like some new windows and stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had our team meeting, our company meeting on Friday, and we're trying to encourage more people to get sites started. But we're looking for the first person in the company who will tell us they want to quit because they're making enough money from their websites. So this is kind of a goal that Adam and I have. So yeah, Leanne's in a race for that.
Yeah, I think me and Eleanor, we're in the running together at the moment. I tried to get her on the stream, she won't.
Oh, really? Well, Eleanor's going to have to jump on the stream at some point.
Yeah,
given her new role, she's going to be on the stream. So
she's got the coolest story anyway. She's gone from a chef to a website owner, so everybody needs to hear about that.
That's true. Awesome. What else was I going to mention? That's about that. I can't remember now. But yeah, so no, I mean, obviously, all well done. Like that's awesome, and like you say, it's growing every month now, and yeah, just continue. That sounds like just continue what you're doing. You've got 60 posts, 3,000 visitors. Sounds good to me. Keep going, and it's only going to get better from now. So, and you're over the hard bit. So,
well, I hope so. My next goal is the first bit of income. When I can finally get monetized and get some ad income coming in, I'll be happy. Even if it's like £1, I don't care.
Eleanor's shown up.
Yes, Eleanor.
Okay, let's get Eleanor on then for a bit, and then we'll round up with questions at the end.
Bit of peer pressure works wonders.
Yeah, publicly, just like
public peer pressure. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's bring Eleanor on. Hey, Eleanor.
Well, Leanne was putting pressure on me. I was like, might as well join.
This has turned into a niche website builders,
I know.
Like tales from niche website builders employees. So,
yeah, it's funny. Well, here's my story then. Shall I do it then?
Yeah, go for it. Far away.
Well, yeah, as Leanne mentioned, obviously I used to be a chef, so I had a huge passion for food, cooking, and all that sort of thing. And then I thought, why not open like a website, like a blog, where I could just talk about my passion, which is cooking. So when I opened the site, I had no idea about SEO or anything like that. I just started out of pure passion. So I kind of started from fresh domain, kind of thought of the name, and had no structure. I was just writing. The blog posts were absolutely terrible. They were just very short. Pictures were absolutely terrible as well. It was just out of passion as well. Because I got inspired by a site called avocado.com. And I was like, wow, these guys managed in 6 months to make this a full-time job. So I really got inspired. I was like, wow, you just open a site and you just blog and you get so much money out of it. So if I could do that, and I can, do what I love, talk about cooking, make recipes, that would be great. But that didn't work out. So, yeah, and then eventually, I started with niche website builders, and I found out about SEO, and I was like, wow, you could do that. You could actually target specific keywords and do things like that and rank. And yeah, I started implementing these strategies, and right now it's doing well. I guess one of my sites specifically is 2.5 years old. So yeah, it's doing quite well now. It's getting some traffic, so I'm quite proud of it.
Yeah, so similar to Leanne, you had a site already, unlike Alison, had a site already that got indexed. You were using it for something else, and you were able to then just kind of jump on and not have that waiting time that Alison had. So yeah, that's really good. So where are you at now? What's the traffic numbers you're getting at the moment for your?
Yeah, I believe it's let me just quickly check. I have it on the top of my head. So it's 1,700 on SEMrush. So it's roughly around 7,000 to 8,000 on my analytics. So yeah, it's picking up. I've kind of I'm going to be rogue. I'm not doing recipes as much, because obviously I realized down the line it's kind of quite difficult and competitive. There's loads of like stay-at-home moms and other people that they have the time to sit and blog all day, and the biggest thing is that they have a community.
Don't say that to a mum. Like, if they tell her they've got loads of time, you'll be in trouble.
Well, at least that's when I was looking at the competition, that's what I was seeing mostly, like women with like children, and they just like blog. At least that was when I was doing some of the competitor like research, and all of them my rivals are like just really used to blogging and just with the kids at home. And I don't know, I'm not saying that being a mom is easy and you've got so much time. Don't take me this the wrong way, but yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's about roughly 8,000 visits per month. DR is 24. So yeah, I used to do quite a lot of link building when I first joined Niche Website Builders, because obviously I joined in the links team. So that was my first thing I learned of SEO was links. So I might as well get some links. And I started seeing the increase of the DR, and that really like pushed me to keep building more. But ultimately, I found out it's not a DR really that helps you rank. It's content mostly. And if my content is not up to standard, it's not good enough, then the DR isn't really going to save me. So now I've kind of switched things around, and I've started investing more in content and focusing more on that, and kind of put the link building on hold.
Awesome. You also used been using quite a lot of social media as well, right? Like Instagram and stuff like that. How's that gone? Because you didn't just rely on SEO to start with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, actually, my biggest success is Pinterest. I'm doing Pinterest so like crazy. I've got so much success actually, because I've got two sites. So my first site, I'm getting most of my traffic via my socials. Actually, it's not organic search. My second site, it's organic search more. But yeah, I have a huge success, specifically with Pinterest. Instagram, I'm really pushing with Instagram, but I'm not getting as much success. I haven't figured yet, how to work it out exactly. But Pinterest, absolutely smashing it. So I could not recommend Pinterest more. Especially with recipes, it's kind of quite visual. So you post nice pictures, and people see them and they click on it. So it's kind of really important that you make your pins very colorful and eye-catching. And this is something I've learned along the way. And yeah, I absolutely recommend Pinterest. Absolutely gives me tons of traffic. I do Reddit as well. Like I've joined a couple of boards on Reddit and groups, and I just post all my posts on there and kind of chat to people. I've got incredible karma. I'm not sure what you know on Reddit. You have like karma and things like that. So yeah, I've got some incredible stuff going on there as well. So yeah, I mean, social media, definitely. If you can like put the work in there and just sit every night and just kind of share your posts, you can really get following. Because I've got like a mailing list as well that I've gotten because of that. It's not a huge. I've got like 300 people on my mailing list, MailChimp. But really, yeah, I kind of wish I could do it organically, like where I can just get traffic in my sleep from Google. But you're gonna have to put the work, I suppose, for now. Yeah.
Awesome. We've also had Carly join now, so it's like thick and fast. Like we're in a. But anyway, so this is I don't know if she's come on to get a tarot reading or not, but well, Eleanor, we'll bring you back in a minute, okay? Hey, Carly. Oh no, we can't hear you.
Probably some of the mic settings, maybe.
Is that better?
There you go. That's better.
Hey, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see you in person.
Good to see you again, Carly.
Again, yes. I'm okay. So I have to ask you guys how much promo you want me to do, because like I'm wearing my merch.
Oh yeah, nice.
On the St. Patrick's Day comp, which was lovely. So thank you very much. It fits perfectly. So thank you. It's very comfortable. But yes, I am a customer, and so I have to temper my, or maybe not, temper my enthusiasm, because I'm obviously very happy customer. So thank you very much for having me on.
Awesome. Awesome. No, yeah. Well, for the people that are listening, then tell them where you're at. Like, when did you get started? Like, where are you on your journey?
Yeah, so I've been sort of dabbling with, I guess, trying to earn money online in some capacity for a very, very, very long time. I think the main motivation for me was when I was expecting a child. And so I thought, look, how am I going to earn enough money that I perhaps can spend some more time at home with my kids, because I didn't really want to go back. Don't get me wrong, I was very happy with my job. I actually worked with my husband at the time in the business that he was running, and it was a fantastic job, fantastic people to work with. But I really wanted something of my own. And so I was sort of looking around. I spent way too much time on Black Hat World. Investigating all of the different things that I could or possibly might choose not to do, and sort of was sort of bumbling around online. I actually ended up really coming across like Doug Cunnington and Alex from WP Eagle, just sort of investigating different ways of earning money online, because I came from a bit of a background of sort of self-taught web development. I could make a website. I knew how things work. I know a little bit of code, enough to be dangerous. I certainly wouldn't call myself a programmer, but enough to be dangerous. And so I thought, look, I can perhaps apply the skills that I have in this space and turn it into the possibility of me, like I said, being able to spend a bit more time at home with my kids. So that was 2014, okay. 2015 or so. And I thought, well, what am I interested in? What niche am I going to get into? Well, I'm about to have a child, so maybe I'll get onto parenting. So I'm spending a whole lot of time on, Pinterest, looking at all the ideas of, top 50 blog post ideas for your mummy blog. And it was just like the same thing that everybody else was doing. Here's how I entertain my child at home, or here is, just a whole lot of ideas that were basically the same as what everybody else was already doing. Go on to Pinterest. Pinterest is big for the parenting niche, blah, blah, blah. And so I sort of got a little bit lost because I was trying to work out what my differentiating factor was actually going to be. I came from a marketing background, so I knew that if I just spat out the same stuff that everybody else was already doing, that I wouldn't actually, I wouldn't make a big. I missed the early days of everyone being able to just post whatever it is and sharing the, sort of their life and blogging in the traditional sense. I've missed all of that, and I knew that I had to do something different. So I bought a couple of domains. I bought a domain that I liked the name of, and that I thought, I'm happy to put my own name on this. And then, courtesy of my time on Black Hat World, I found a few other domains that were aged and had links. And I do this because I didn't pay very much for them. And so I thought I would use them as a bit of a case study. I thought, well, I will put content that I'm paying, $10, $15 US per 1,000 words. I'll put that content on the website. It's not fantastic. It's not how I would have written this content, but I'll see what an age domain can actually do, and I'll spend my time telling my stories and with my product reviews and my experiences on this domain that I actually like the name of. And of course, as things would happen, the age domain did better than the stuff that I was actually investing energy and time into. So what I ended up doing was basically moving all of my attention over to that and sort of shelved my actually nice domain name off to the side, and spent my time and energy on that. But because I'd started to see sort of traction, I have, as some of the previous guests tonight have also expressed, I've got shiny object syndrome. And so I thought that this would be a fantastic time to buy a whole lot of other projects as well. And I've ended up in a position now where, however many years later, through the course of having some downtime and investing other money in elsewhere, I've ended up in a position where I've got a number of projects, none of which are really excelling, but sort of ending up at about $500 US a month now across sort of 3 main domains. But I'm in a position now where I should be spending time and energy and effort and money on the sites that I have, as I have sort of invested in content with you, so thank you very much. But I'm in a position where I'm sort of looking for the next sort of shiny project and finding it hard to divert my attention back to the things that I've started already.
Yeah. It's too easy to do, but doubling down is good. And then you get more
Yeah.
opportunities then to start new projects once you've
Well,
increased earnings.
that's it. Yeah, I want to be able to sort of reinvest the money. But through the course of a couple of changes in my life, I've ended up with some capital.
Mhm.
And having money in the bank account means that I'll just sort of spend some money, which is not necessarily the most fantastic thing to do. So, yeah, I'm keen for any strategies that anybody has about making sure that my focus is what it should be. I've got all the subscriptions under the sun. I think Jasper was mentioned earlier. I have to say Jasper. I call it Java still because I have a son named Jasper, and so I find it really hard to call the software Jasper as well. I've got that and all sorts of other subscriptions as well. But as mentioned with Adam on a call recently, I really probably should be picking up Ahrefs instead. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. That's fantastic. We should definitely get you back on for like a little bit of a longer chat sometime. We're kind of running out of the time now, so it'd be really good to get you on for a bit longer and like drill down a little bit more into like what you've done and what you're doing with that. But that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is we're going to bring everybody back, and then if there's any questions for anyone in particular, we can kind of get them done. And in the meantime, we've got 41 likes, so we're more than enough for the giveaway. Whoop, whoop. Oh, look at that.
Get the merch.
Can
Get
recommend.
the merch. Oh, yeah, we'll see Carly's face when she wins again live on stream.
Sorry?
You need to send us a photo so Mark can add it to our presentation.
I have absolutely intended to do that, and literally just thought that I'll chuck it on to show everybody this evening, but I haven't needed to because the likes are all good to go. So
awesome. So if you're interested in getting some merch like Carly, then type something in the chat, anything in the chat, and do so in the next couple of minutes, and you'll be entered into the draw. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring everybody back, and let's see how we can do this. Well, there you go. And if you've got any questions for the guys, then feel free to ask now, and we'll get some merch going. What have we got? Have we got anything there, Adam?
No questions. Unless I've missed a load, but no, I don't think I've seen any. Apart from everyone's just encouraging Leanne to reply to his OIC, essentially.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely take a look at that.
I will try, but I got bored and applied to AdSense last week, and they rejected me as well. So it's really frustrating. Yeah. I know. So I'll have to just keep plugging away with content, I think.
We do have a question from Daniel. Interested in knowing what one thing you all wish you knew at the start was. Who wants to take that one?
That many people speak a load of rubbish, and you have to pick your the people that you want to follow.
Yeah, to pick the people. Yeah, it can be hard to sift through that in the beginning because there's so many making money online kind of gurus that you definitely want to steer clear of.
Yeah, the good ones will offer a lot for free as well, like yourselves having podcasts and everything. The ones that just making money, just ignore them.
Yeah.
I would add to that stick it out for longer than a couple of weeks as well. It's a case of sort of pick a path and stick with it for long enough to see whether it's actually working or not, because you need that length of time to see what the impact of the things that you have done has been before you can decide whether it's actually worked or not and use it as a proper data point for moving forward. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree with picking one method and sticking with it from experience.
This is awesome as well, by the way, because I definitely do think we're in a male-dominated space.
Mm-hmm.
I went to speaking on an event late last year, and it was literally almost. I think there was like 2 ladies there. Everyone else was male. So it's great to see 3 women on here as well.
4, including Eleanor. Yeah,
and Eleanor as well. Yeah, this is awesome to see. It's repping it for the women, which is great. That's it, though. No more questions, basically.
That's it. It's like men not asking questions. Awesome. Okay, so let me flash the merch, eh?
Carly's flashed the merch. When
That's
we're
true.
over the likes as well, let's just get into it.
Cool. We are. I just got to wait a little bit longer because it takes a while for people to catch up and make their comment. I think because I think there's a slight delay. So just make sure everybody gets in there. They're still coming in. But yeah, if you haven't been here before, you get t-shirts. As I say, this one's Adam without a beard. This is me without a beard because my long hair now. And then we got mugs, caps, and choice of shirts. So
Would you consider opening up a store, or having the capacity to actually buy some things? Because I need a new mug.
yeah, I mean, we could do it. We could stick it on the site. I know Alex does that. We could, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we certainly could. We'll send you one anyway for coming on, Carly. And Alison,
Thanks. I don't need
send
to.
you. Yeah, we'll send you something as well, Alison. Say thanks for making the effort to come on the show. Okay, so that we should have Dave into here. Let's put Dave in there because he's been contributing. Dave into the drawer as well.
You should have
Okay.
annoying puppies into your e-commerce site.
Right, I'm going to shorten this because it's just always a bit long. Right, here we go.
Anyone do the drum roll? Can anyone do the drum roll?
We've got no music or anything, have we? The usual.
That worked.
Yeah, that worked. That worked well. Oh, it's going to be close.
It's Katie, I think.
Katie.
Well, Katie, congratulations.
How awesome! And a lady winning with a stream full of ladies. It was great.
I know, and El Couch is a lady as well. So like, we must had if it wasn't her, it was. Oh, and Hannah, look, it was only going to hit the women. I don't want to spin another one in case we end up with a man getting it. So let's call it a day. All right. Well, thanks, Alison, Leanne, Carly, Eleanor. Thanks all for coming on. Been really great. I think you've been really good. We'll kind of hit you up in advance, I think, to do this again and follow along with your journey as it goes. But thanks for coming on, and we'll catch everybody next week. I think I'll say Adam's not here next week. We'll announce what's going to be on the shows kind of on our Facebook pages and on email if you're not already on the mailing list. Get on it. You can by heading over to our site and subscribing on the Contact Us page. Otherwise, we'll catch up with you next week.
I'll be a color of golden red when I come back as well the week after. I don't go brown, I just go red. I'll be even more redder than what I currently am. So.
Well, Eleanor said it was snowing in Bulgaria last week, so it might be frostbite.
I've been skiing in Bulgaria, but I'm going to the sunny bit of Bulgaria.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good day.
Bye.